What if MrBeast made an army? Just how powerful would it be? In the realm of internet philanthropy and unconventional challenges, MrBeast, known for his extraordinary acts of generosity, has amassed a colossal following across multiple platforms, all eager to support his ventures. So what if he decided to channel that collective energy into forming a real-life army of his followers? In this hypothetical scenario, we delve into the possibilities, exploring the dynamics of a MrBeast-led army and the unprecedented influence it could wield. So how big would this army be? For this, I'm going to be using his subscribers from his main channel only, due to many subscribers being the same across his other platforms and channels like MrBeast Gaming and Beast Philanthropy. That leaves us with 234 million possible members of the army. But what percentage of that number are actually over the age of 18 and capable of fighting? While we don't have any conclusive data on MrBeast's audience, we can make some assumptions. MrBeast is most popular with Gen Z, which as of 2024 are in the age range of 12 to 26 years old. Based on the limited data, it's pretty safe to assume that about 30 to 40% of his audience is over the age of 18. So for the calculations, we'll be splitting the difference and using 35%. That gives us just shy of 82 million people to use, 33% of which being female and about 67% being male. So what's the army's budget? For the sake of argument, let's say Jimmy decides to sell all his channels and all his companies, like MrBeast Burger and Feastables, to fund his plot for world domination. But how much money would that leave us with? Most estimates put his combined net worth at about $1.5 billion. And because I'm too lazy to do the math myself, I'm just going to use that figure. So let's see how that compares to other countries' defense budgets. So it turns out 1.5 billion isn't really a lot when it comes to military spending. With that amount of money, Jimmy could match the defense budgets of a few smaller militaries around the world, but couldn't really keep up with the cost for funding a larger military force. With the cost of rations, vehicles, ammunition, barracks, and weapons far outweighing the proposed budget. In the end, even with all his millions of followers, Jimmy would lack the supplies to take advantage of his larger audience. But what about an Air Force or Navy? Could spending on either one of these save the MrBeast army? Well, given that modern aircraft like the F-35 Raptor cost incredible amounts of money, not even including the price of fuel and maintenance, while also necessitating a runway to even operate, it isn't really a feasible option. So what about a Navy? Unfortunately for us, he couldn't even afford the most common US destroyer, the Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, with a staggering cost of $1.8 billion. So is it over? Are MrBeast's dreams of global domination doomed from their inception? Not quite. For the dire circumstance, I'm going to propose what I like to call the North Korean solution. So what is the North Korean solution, you might ask? Well, let me tell you. Let me introduce you to the LGM-35 Sentinel, an intercontinental ballistic missile capable of carrying a 300 kiloton warhead, which is 20 times larger than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima in World War II. The best part? They only cost about $162 million as of December 2023. At that cost, MrBeast could buy 5 ICBMs for right around $810 million, leaving right around $690-ish million left to pay for the missile silos as well as the manpower needed to keep such a facility operational. But I have to be honest here. After much research and also being put on the FBI watch list for looking at prices of ICBMs and missile silos, I haven't really been able to come up with an accurate cost to operate a missile silo long term, nor an exact amount it costs to launch such a missile. So I'm going to turn to Elon Musk for some data. An ICBM is basically just a rocket, so I'm going to use the SpaceX cost to launch their Falcon 9 rocket, which is about $67 million per launch. With this figure in mind, it's pretty safe to say that MrBeast would be easily able to stay within his budget and be able to launch all 5 missiles. So what would the impact be? At this point, MrBeast can easily wipe out the 5 largest cities in the world, which would unalive hundreds of millions of people. But I'm proposing a better alternative.
MrBeast 6,000, yeah, you know his name. He changed it once or twice, but I think it's here to stay.